Hi, I'm Dr. Walter Matwichuk, and the purpose of today's intermittent reinforcement email message is to speak to you about how REBT enhances your problem solving skills and ability. Life is a never ending stream of problems. You solve one problem, and more or less the next one is around the bend. Some of them are big problems, some of them are small problems, and sometimes we're pummeled with multiple problems simultaneously. REBT helps you accept this fact of life and enables you to have healthy negative emotions so that you are producing an optimal response to the problems you face. REBT argues that when we experience emotions like anxiety, anger, despair, and shame, among other unhealthy emotions, we tend to produce suboptimal behavioral responses. And we also can be quite myopic in our problem solving ability. We don't think out of the box. Furthermore, when we're angry, we could very well become aggressive in trying to solve a problem and do something that's impulsive. So, REBT makes the argument that adopting a healthy attitude to the never ending stream of problems will enhance your ability to meet your problems head on and think creatively about them, persist in facing them and implementing a particular solution, remain scientific in your outlook, and continue to test hypotheses about solutions that may work, but not stick to a hypothesis and keep trying the same solution that clearly may not be working. So REBT enables you to move through different solutions, test them, try them, because you have a flexible and non-extreme attitude that leads to healthy negative emotions as you confront your problem. Healthy negative emotions that apply here include concern, in all probability, the best emotion probably to feel when you face a problem, because it motivates you and keeps you focused on solving the problem. Other emotions that may occur could include emotions like healthy disappointment, sadness, and annoyance. And they too won't undermine your ability to solve a problem, see it, and persist at solving it in a creative fashion without sticking to a failed solution. So the healthy negative emotions put you in a mindset, or comes from a mindset and then reinforces that mindset, that allows you to stay with the focus of solving the problem. Now, when you encounter a problem, probably the best thing you could say to yourself is, this is just another problem to be solved, rather than saying, I shouldn't be facing this problem. I can't stand another problem. Poor me. It's awful that I'm facing another problem. What I have trained myself to say is, this is just another problem to solve. Life is a never-ending stream. There's always a workaround if I keep my composure. If I yield to the tendency to upset myself, then I'll be less creative, less persistent. I'll try solutions that have clearly failed and stick with them when in fact it's best to abandon them. So the first thing I would suggest you do when you face a problem is remember to say to yourself, this is just another problem for me to solve. I've solved many problems before. I can chip away at this one. It doesn't pay to upset myself. Now, should you notice that you're upsetting yourself, the first thing to do is to acknowledge it. Don't deny it. Acknowledge that you're upsetting yourself, and then ask yourself two questions. One, how is my unhealthy anger or my unhealthy feelings of anxiety impeding me in solving this problem, in addressing it? How am I impairing myself by yielding to this unhealthy negative emotion? The The second thing the question you could ask yourself is, well, what is the demand that I'm making that's leading to my unhealthy emotion? And where's the evidence that would sustain it or prove it to be valid? Where's the evidence that I must not face yet another problem and have to come up with another creative solution? The answer to that would be there is no evidence. Problems will occur to the day you die, to the moment you take your last breath, and you might as well come to terms with that existential reality of life and become the best problem solver you can become. Now, after you've tried to help yourself, because REBT is always encouraging you to be self-reliant, because no one's more interested in your life than you, the other thing you can do is turn to other people and ask them how they might help you think out of the box. Turn to an expert, perhaps. It may pay to do so. Don't put yourself down for needing help. Acknowledge when a problem is something that you really can't handle alone, and then turn to others. But be selective in who you turn to. My experience has shown that people will offer opinions, but not everyone is well informed about different problems. And so it's best to consult those who are likely, from a statistical point of view, to have some knowledge that might be useful to you. Now, you can be creative. You could turn to other people who are well informed and still not come up with a good solution. Rather than saying there must be an ideal solution to your problem, accept that now you have to move into the realm of the philosophical solution, or what REBT also sometimes calls the emotional solution. This solution is where you say to yourself, well, I wish this problem weren't existing in my life, but sadly it is. And I can't find a good practical solution to this particular problem. Therefore, it's in my best interest to adopt the philosophical solution of acceptance and see that there are some problems I'm not going to be able to change. Maybe for now, maybe for quite some time, maybe forever. And that I can choose to stubbornly refuse to be miserable about the problems I can change and adapt and still have some happiness and find an alternative path around the problem. There are some problems in life that do not have good practical solutions. And so though REBT encourages you to be a good practical problem solver by having healthy emotional reactions to the problems you face, but REBT also encourages you to be realistic and see that you may have to adopt the philosophical solution because, try as you might, you may be unable to change the external reality that you find most difficult to bear. My experience has shown that people can bear more adversity and more discomfort than they generally give themselves credit for being capable of bearing. And so it's important to remind yourself that should you be unable to change the circumstances, there is still the workaround of the philosophical solution. Speaking of solutions, one solution that may help you understand REBT better is to join me on Saturday when I demonstrate how to think this way with a volunteer who's willing to discuss a real problem. I do this every Saturday on Zoom, and it's free to attend. It's at 9 a.m. in New York, Philadelphia part of the world, which is 2 p.m. in London, 3 p.m. in Paris, 3 p.m. in Sarajevo, 4 p.m. in Bucharest, 5 p.m. in Moscow. It looks like it's 6:30 in Kabul, 7 o'clock in Karachi, 7:30 in New Delhi, 11 p.m. in Tokyo, and 1 a.m. on Sunday in Sydney, Australia. Now, we have a worldwide audience because REBT is a cross-cultural approach that can help people around the world solve their problems. The experience I've had in doing these demonstrations is that when people watch them regularly, they deepen their understanding of REBT and how they can apply it to a wide range of problems. So even if the volunteer doesn't face the particular problem, isn't discussing a problem that you're facing, there's still value in joining us on Saturdays and watching how REBT can be applied to a particular problem. So I would encourage you to attend. It's free to attend, but you need to write to me to get the link. My email address is rebtdoctor@gmail.com. And I hope to see you on Saturday. And if there's any confusion as to where you are in the world, I'm in Philadelphia and New York, and it's 9 a.m. every Saturday. So you can go to the web and use a program like timeanddate.com. That website will help you figure out what time 9 a.m. is in your neck of the woods. At this time of the year, clocks change around the world, and sometimes people get the start time a little bit confused. So that's why I'm going into this right now. But nevertheless, I hope to see you on Saturday, and I hope you enhance your problem-solving skills by using the healthy attitudes of REBT to keep your composure, which will allow you to think out of the box about the problems you face.